How can a league filled with so much talent treat its best players so poorly? Stars like Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby should be the faces of the NHL, but somehow, it feels like the league holds them back. Why don't they get more protection on the ice? Why isn't the NHL better at promoting them? In this video, we'll explore why it seems like the NHL doesn't fully support its own stars. If you're a true hockey fan, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. This is Puck Nuts. Officiating. Star players aren't getting protected. In the NFL and NBA, star players are often protected. Quarterbacks get special treatment, and players like LeBron James get key foul calls. But in the NHL, it's a different story. Top players like Connor McDavid or Elias Pettersson don't get the same respect. They're often hit, held, or tripped with no penalty called, even when it leads to injury. That hurts the game. Offense is what brings fans in, but it's hard for stars to show their skills when they're being slowed down by uncalled interference. Studies show the NHL calls fewer obstruction penalties than other big leagues, and that's a problem. The salary cap punishes star power. The NHL has one of the toughest salary caps in all of sports. While it's meant to keep things fair, it also makes it hard for teams to pay their star players what they truly deserve. To work around this, some teams use a loophole called long-term injured reserve, LTIR. They place top players on LTIR during the season, which gives them extra cap space, then bring those players back for the playoffs. Fans have seen this with Vegas and Mark Stone, and earlier with Tampa Bay's Nikita Kucherov. While it's legal, it can feel unfair, especially for star players who carry the team but are stuck under salary rules that limit their worth. Player relations and public criticism from within. Sometimes in the NHL, star players don't get the respect or support they deserve, even from their own teams. A clear example is when the CEO of the Dallas Stars publicly criticized Jamie Benn, the team's captain. That kind of comment not only hurt team morale, but also made people wonder if Ben might want to leave. It showed that even top players aren't always protected by their own leadership. On top of that, some older players, like Brad Marchand, have made sarcastic remarks about younger stars like Jack Hughes. This shows a deeper problem in the NHL's culture, one where rising talent doesn't always get welcomed or encouraged the way it should be. Branding and promotion. The league undermarkets its stars. The NHL has often said it wants to focus on the game itself, not just the players. Deputy Commissioner Bill Daley once explained that the league prefers to promote the product, meaning hockey as a whole, instead of putting individual stars in the spotlight. But this way of thinking misses something big. Other sports like the NBA grow by highlighting their top players, like LeBron James. Meanwhile, NHL legends like Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin are superstars, but they've never been pushed on a global level like NBA stars. Even though fans love them, the league seems slow to build their names around the world. Culture and personality. Hockey suppresses individualism. The NHL has a habit of pushing down players who show too much personality. Take PK Subban for example. He was fun, energetic, and full of flair, but he often faced criticism and was even traded. Many teams in the league seem to prefer players who stay quiet, follow the rules, and don't stand out too much. This creates a strange situation. The league needs stars to grow and succeed, but when someone shows character, they're often told to tone it down. It's like saying, be great, but don't be too different. That kind of culture can hold the game back. Tax and contract disparities affect star movement. Where a player signs in the NHL isn't always just about the team, it's also about taxes. Some states like Florida and Texas don't have income tax, so stars can keep more of their money. That gives teams in those places a big edge. A player might earn the same on paper, but take home more. On top of that, even though the NHL salary cap is starting to rise, it's still not growing fast enough for stars to get what they're really worth. Players like Connor McDavid could one day earn over $20 million a year, but the league's slow system holds that back. Star players don't draw consistent penalties. Here's something strange. NHL stars, even though they control the puck more than anyone else, often don't get as many penalties called in their favor. You'd think the more you have the puck, the more defenders would try to stop you unfairly, right? But in hockey, referees often let things slide. Obstruction, hooking, and other fouls go uncalled. This means star players have to fight through a lot of physical defense without help. It makes the game harder for them and lowers scoring. In the end, it hurts the excitement that stars usually bring to the game. Fans borderline hate their own stars. Why? Even the biggest names in hockey, like Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin, get booed and criticized, sometimes for no real reason. A lot of it comes from jealousy or fans needing someone to root against, especially when their own team isn't in the playoffs. Some people say the league pushes these stars too much, even though that's not really the case. In fact, the NHL often fails to tell personal stories about its players. Because of this, casual fans don't get a chance to connect with the stars on a deeper level, like they do in other sports. It's a missed opportunity. The hidden power of salary cap trends. NHL teams often try to find smart ways to work around the salary cap. They might front-load contracts, paying more money up front, or use LTIR, long-term injured reserve, to get some relief. These tricks show how hard it is for teams to fully support their star players under the league's strict cap rules. While the salary cap is meant to keep things fair between teams, it also makes it tough to build around elite talent. In the end, it can feel like teams get punished for trying to hold on to their best players. Player pushback and rule reform. NHL stars aren't staying quiet. Many of them have spoken up about rules they don't like, such as the shootout, unclear goalie interference calls, and how little the league does about obstruction. These players want changes that let skill and speed shine. Some veteran players are also supporting the idea of fixing the game. And now, with social media, stars have a louder voice. They're using it to tell the league that things need to improve. It shows that even top players feel held back by the current system and want the NHL to do better. Lockouts and league instability. Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the NHL, isn't very popular among fans or players. One big reason is the number of lockouts that happened while he's been in charge. There have been 3, including one in 2004-05 that canceled the entire season, the only full-season cancellation in major North American sports. These lockouts didn't just stop the games. They also hurt players' careers, cost them money, and broke the connection between fans and their favorite stars. When the league shuts down, it becomes harder to market the players and build excitement around the game. Case study: John Scott, invisible for all stars. Fans voted John Scott, a tough guy who didn't play much and wasn't a star, into the All-Star game. The league didn't like that and tried to stop him from playing. But fans stood by him. Even though Scott wasn't a top player, he ended up being the MVP of the game, and people loved it. The NHL finally let him play, but only after getting a lot of backlash. This moment showed that the league often prefers to control the story instead of letting fans decide who their heroes should be. Brad Marchand and the pest factor. Brad Marchand is one of the best players in the NHL, but also one of the most hated. Many NHL players have called him the dirtiest player in the league because of his sneaky and annoying playing style. He's not the kind of clean-cut star the NHL usually promotes. Even though he helps his team win and is very smart on the ice, the league doesn't really celebrate him. Instead, they often punish him more than others. It shows how the NHL struggles with players who are great but don't fit the image they want to show to fans. Recent controversy: Darnell Nurse and accusations of bias. In 2025, Darnell Nurse and the Dallas Stars spoke out about something many fans had already noticed. They felt NHL referees were unfair to them. They said the calls often went in favor of the bigger teams or more famous players. This added to a bigger question across the league: are only certain stars protected, while others get ignored? When players start to feel this way, it shows there might be a problem with how the league handles fairness. What's the cost of hockey? When the NHL doesn't protect its stars, the whole game suffers. Fans want to see skill, speed, and big moments, not stars getting blocked or injured. If the league keeps ignoring its top players, it could lose fans and slow its growth. Summary: why the NHL hates its stars. The NHL has several problems holding back its stars. Refs don't protect them well, and penalties for obstruction are often missed. The salary cap and LTIR rules make it hard for stars to get paid fairly. The league doesn't market players the way the NBA or NFL does, so fans don't build deep connections. If a player shows too much personality, they get traded or criticized. Lockouts have also hurt trust. All of this keeps the NHL from growing through its stars. Final thoughts. The NHL has some of the best players in the world, but sometimes it feels like the league just doesn't know how to treat them right. If the NHL gave more love to its
Star, with better ref, faire cap rule, and stronger promotion, the game could grow even faster.
Are you surprised the NHL doesn't hype up its stars like the NBA or NFL? Who's the one player you think deserves way more credit? If you love honest hockey talk like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell. This is Puck Nuts. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.